This week, we're heading off the grid to chase after one of the most aggressive freshwater fish in North America.
We're going to one of the places that I read about in a scientific journal that was posted in 2006. I called multiple people. I tried to get some intel on bull trout fishing in this area, and nobody knows anything about it that I talked to.
Oh my gosh, that was a large one.
That's not good. That's not good.
Bull trout, contrary to their name, are not actually trout, but rather a species of char native to the Pacific Northwest. They were first reported by Dr. George Suckley in 1859 as Salmo confluentus. For over a century, they were thought to be an inland form of the Dolly Varden, and it wasn't until 1980 when the distinction was made between the two. Their scientific name, SALVELINUS confluentus, roughly translates in Latin to mean flowing together. This refers to their life cycle of traveling up and down their river systems and into the confluence of their headwater streams to spawn.
And it's not like go up into the first run in a river. It's like go up 90 miles to the highest point of this river.
In order to tell this story correctly, we need to go back a few years. In 2019, Brian introduced me to his friends Adam and Steve of Blue Line Co. They had been planning a fishing trip to Canada and invited me to come along. At the time, I was pretty unfamiliar with bull trout and really didn't know what to expect. I soon explained to my parents that I'd be leaving the country for the first time ever with two strangers from Alabama.
All morning, we were just killing bullies. Sorry, let me restate that.
The trip had been a success, and we had all found our new favorite fish. The following year, we made another attempt to fish for them, this time in Montana. Unfortunately, though, we came back empty-handed. It seemed that the bulls had already moved upstream to get ready for spawn. The more we obsessed over these fish, the more we started to learn about their history and why they are so protected in the US. Historically, their native range stretched from Northern California to southern Alaska. But over the last century, dams, siltation from irrigation, and human expansion have greatly reduced their numbers.
You know, there are some places in the southern portion of their range where they're just gone.
Around the turn of the 20th century, settlers began introducing non-native fish to these river systems. Bull trout were considered a nuisance because of their predatory nature and impact on popular but non-native game fish. At one point, there was even a bounty placed on bull trout tails in Canada to rid them of their waters. Bull trout are now protected under the Endangered Species Act in the US, and many states have special regulations in place to help protect their populations. Because they require such a pristine habitat to survive, they are a leading indicator species for stream health.
You have to put in a lot of effort to get back to them because they're in these just really, really remote places. It makes me want to go that extra couple miles into the backcountry and find these things.
Having struck out the year prior, we were determined to give bull trout another shot. We are always seeking out adventures that bring us to places that we wouldn't otherwise go to, and bull trout offered that opportunity.
We looked at a lot of different locations, everything from Montana all the way to Oregon and Washington, and picked the one that I thought was going to be the best.
It's important to note that there are streams in the US where it is illegal to target bull trout. So when researching where we were going to go, we had to make sure we were up to speed with all of the local regulations. With a location picked out and a game plan in place, it was time to get to work. Brian and I would be flying into Salt Lake to meet up with Adam, and then our first leg of the journey would be a 12-hour road trip up north.
Well, so I decided to bring a little bit of some good chi for us. That's the original A-bud that you saw from the Northern Native series. That one's not getting fished because it's been chewed up a little too much and the hooks are pretty dull now and the deer hair's falling out of it. But we had to bring it. If we were doing a bull trout trip, I just feel like I shouldn't go anywhere without it. So we've got 5 days to try to dial this in. We've got a bunch of different floats planned. If nothing else, I bet there are chubbies that eat dry flies.
Chubbies that eat dry flies.
Maybe cutthroat that eat
There are
chubbies.
chubbies that eat dry flies. That's where we're going.
Yes. Well, it got a little cold on us up here. It was really hot when we left Salt Lake. It was 106 when we got in the car. So our boat has experienced some shrinkage here. So a very nice couple on the interstate flagged us down, and sure enough, the boat is kind of hanging off the back a little bit.
All right, it's been a long day. We made it to a truck stop after about a 10-hour drive today. So we're just gonna stop here for the night. It's pretty late. We're gonna get a good night's rest. We got a big week ahead of us, and hoping to get after it tomorrow.
So it sounds like there's like 12 fires in our area. There was some question about whether this road that we need to take to get to where we're going is going to be closed. There's a fire kind of in between where us and these bull trout. So I don't want to let that stand in my way. We're trying to figure out if we can drive down this road because the road just north of here is closed.
Saw a sign just back there that said, what did it say, access closed?
Yeah, ahead or something. It
but-
didn't say anything specific about this area yet.
That is badass. We're here.
We're
Holy
not-
sh!
We're not here.
We're not here, but we're kind of here.
We're somewhat here.
So we're finally getting eyes on the river. We've been driving for probably 12 hours total at this point, and yeah, a lot of travel, almost a full day's travel to get here.
All right, there's a
Ooh,
bully in here.
there's a
We
hole.
gotta look at that.
Yep.
Pop out
There's a
really
bull
quick.
trout in there.
So glad we didn't just launch blindly this morning. Obviously, going to a new river, you want to know what's below you for sure. I mean, that's the logical thing to do. And
But knowing us, we don't always do the logical thing. We're here. Found a campground that has a little trail that goes down the river that we can launch out. We may or may not have tied it 1 or 2 flies for the trip. We'll see. See how they do. Little bull trouty snacks. Yeah. Yep. Let's swing that.
Today, the goal really is it's kind of like a scouting day. We're just trying to see the river. We're on kind of late. This is not ideally when we want to get on, but trying to see the runs, see if we can find some fish, move some fish. Oh, oh. Come on, eat it. Eat it. There he is. Yes. Good cutty, dude. Sweet. That's a good cut.
Oh!
That's a good fish. You show him?
Nymphing is fly fishing.
Sure.
Sure.
This might get a little dicey, folks.
Oh! Just stop.
Eat the hopper. Oh, there he is.
Oh, you gotta put it in the net, Adam.
This is probably one of the better ones we've got today. That's a nice looking cutthroat right there. Do you approve, Adam?
Sure.
Yeah. Boom. See ya. She's so low.
Yeah, I know. Left is it.
I'm holding it.
I say we go right. I think I can do it.
Right?
Let's try it. Yeah, let's try it. I need to try to be as far right as I can. No, not happening. Not happening. That's not good. That's not good. Don't get left. Get the front end pushed around it. Well, we had one part that got a little tough. We had to work really hard for a sec, but whether y'all did or not, I don't know. I got a little gun shy after that one. So we knew this road goes next to the river the whole way. So we're just gonna go ahead and take out here. There's a couple of spots below us that after a long day of rowing and being on the water just look a little dicey. So we pulled in and there were some folks in this campsite before us, but this is the only campsite at this campground that you can access the river from. As we pulled in, we just said, hey guys, would you mind if we just slid our boat through the middle of your campground down the access to the river? Folks were extremely nice, super cool about it. They actually said, well, you know what, we're leaving shortly. So these folks ended up giving us a bunch of food. We decided to make a really weird version of like chili cheese dogs. So we've got burger buns, we've got some brats, we've got our mountain house, and all of this burger meat that we've combined into chili cheese dogs.
Honestly, this could be like the worst thing ever. It's just whenever you're out.
It's not though. I might go to a Roost Chris and order this. Like it's better than their steaks.
All right, it's about 6 a.m. right now. We got up real early this morning. As you can see, we've already got the boat in the water because our campsite is right there. From our experience with bull trout in the past, we found that early morning is usually the best time to target them. It's kind of when they're feeding, there's less light, they're less exposed, and the little fish are a little more vulnerable. So we've got some big streamers that we're hoping to swing. If we don't get any action today or we don't see anything, we're gonna have to kind of switch our game plan up and see if we maybe want to try somewhere else.
Fish darting everywhere around here. I would say just bump us all the way to the right and we'll just fish this whole middle, and I think that's where the deeper stuff might be.
Put on a medium-sized streamer though. I bet we could get a good cutty with this. Oh. Oh! I won't chase it. Oh, there he is. Yep. First cast, dude. Baby. First cast. Let's go. Yeah, he chased it down. This little cutty.
Are you hooked up?
I don't know.
Yeah, you are.
Fish
on.
Get the net quick.
Yes.
Ooh, yes. Whitefish.
How many miles have we driven for this?
Many. That's a very expensive fish. So there's a lot of whitefish in this river. We just nipped one up. We don't normally keep fish. We decided to keep it. We're out here camping. We're out here off the grid for a couple days. We checked the regulations and limits before we headed out. We know we're allowed to keep a few here per day per person. And then we're just gonna do a little catch and cook for lunch.
We can't slack off. Once you start to slack off, it's just like a cancer, dude. It just starts growing and you become lazy and start trading cryptocurrency in your grandma's house. What that? Oh, I got up. It was a cutthroat, 100%, but man, he crushed it. Oh, yeah, there he is. Really good cutty. Scoop. Yo. All right, solid cut.
So as we were driving in, the water up top was super shallow. So we just kind of kept coming in until we started seeing some deeper holes and pockets that might be able to hold some bigger bull trout. But the warden just stopped us, had a talk with us, super nice guy, and gave us some intel. We asked him a little bit of questions about the bull trout. He said that they are up in that really shallow stuff. So we're gonna finish out our float here, and then I think we're gonna head up kind of to where we drove through yesterday, up in the higher country. Got back here to camp. We're kind of getting some stuff packed up. No bull trout. We caught some cutthroat, but we also got into some whitefish. We decided to do a little catch and cook. We've got our whitefish cut up, cleaned.
Pretty good. It's literally just whitefish, like the name, you know, like that generic whitefish taste.
Like the fillet of fish from McDonald's?
Yeah.
Alright, well the rain has turned down a little bit. We're gonna go drive up the road about an hour or so and just scout up some of the upper parts that might have a little bit better opportunity right now for bull trout, a little bit colder water, and then also where some of the tributaries are that we scouted out.
Don't cast over fish trying to get to others, but just sneak up like on this edge. Cast far enough up so that you can get it deep. And in some of the ones, you may want to get a cast up here and then mend upstream so that it really sinks.
We've seen about 1 million fish down here rising, so we've got a dry rig set up, so we're gonna run that, see if we can't catch some of these cutties, because there's a ton of cutties down here.
Oh, dude. There it is. Little guy. This little cutty. There he is. Oh, that's a better fish. Dude, I got him on the skate. Catch him on the leg.
Send him on
Dude, he's giving you the business.
Solid.
Oh, that's sick.
We endured the rain. We caught a bunch of cutties there towards the end of the day. Hopefully this rain holds off. It's not raining right now. And we're just looking for that 1 or 2 or maybe 3 big bites for all of us. I'll include y'all in there, but we're looking for those big bites. Maybe the bull trout will be on the end of our line tomorrow. So we'll see you guys in the morning.
That next day we ended up having just, we're like, let's just fish this section. Let's just have a cutthroat day.
This is our second to last day. There you have it.
That's true.
Okay.
Morale was kind of low.
It was rainy.
It was
and
rainy.
We've been wet for a day.
All of our stuff.
Off
was soaked.
full 24 hours at this point.
We tied on like a black chubby. Just didn't have to really put on anything else.
That's what we're looking for right there.
There he is. Let's go. Hold on. There we go. This is a good cutty. Bully! Guys, we got the first bull of the trip. Let's go. Proof there are bull trout in this river. Nothing crazy, but still a really good sign. It's awesome, man. Ate the chub. There you go. Oh my gosh, he crushed it.
This is just like dream water right here. All the casts that you put in the right place and all the drifts that are good, it's like automatic. Fishing one single chubby right now and just wrecking them.
Oh my god, this is ridiculous. I'm gonna go on that far side, that soft spot. See that rock? Ooh, there he is. That's a good fish. Chomped it. Ooh. Look at that, dude. Really nice fish. Unreal. Another one. This spot is loaded, dude. Gosh, that's so textbook. Nice fish.
The morale really lifted that day.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool on fishing trips. There's always those moments where everyone's watching someone else fish. Like
Yeah.
Adam had a really cool eat, like right in front of Scotty and I. And like this fish just somersaulted out of the water.
Oh my gosh, that was a large one.
It was one of those days you get so into the bull trout and you get so, we were all getting a little frustrated, like, come on,
Yeah.
we've gone all the way out here, we're putting all this work in and nothing's happening, there's no signs
Yep.
and all this. But it was a good day to just, reminder of like, you know what, we're out here catching a bunch of cutthroat, things could be a lot worse.
Wow. Look at that one.
Do you want to know why bull trout fishing is fun? It's because they eat cutthroat. Even if you go bull trout fishing, if there aren't bull trout, you're going to find a lot of cutthroat.
We were in good spirits, so we're like, okay, let's go to where this game warden said the bull trout are. We're passing by the river here and there, and we're like, it just keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And we're just like, oh my gosh, like, there's no way.
tiny.
There's no way they're up here.
We've had a pretty long drive to get to kind of where the warden told us would be a good spot to find some bulls. As far as kind of our last chance to really try to get on some,
we almost gave up on it, and we were like kind of walking back, and I was looking down through this little pocket between two trees, and then sure enough, there was a big old tail.
No one's seen any bulls this trip besides the one that you caught, Scotty.
And there are 3 really good sized bulls just sitting here on this rock, and it kind of proves that we're in the right zone. I'm a little psyched on it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of happy because it's exactly what we were wanting to see coming up here, coming to the biggest hole up here.
After seeing them in that hole, we were running out of light. We got to look at this potential float that's 4 miles below this hole and see like what options we have and if there's any fish in there. So like we were running out of light quick.
let's take a peek, see. We definitely have some bigger water, more accessible, some easier spots that we could either float or wade. But now the question is, we're about 6 miles downriver from where we just saw the bulls. So now we're gonna look and see if we can see some signs of them down through here. That's floatable. That is money right there.
Basically, the plan as of now is we're going to do a float. It's going to probably be a float / wade because some of the areas are a little skinny. It's been about 4 days now since we've had service, and it is so nice. It's rare to find time away from your phone and away from just all these distractions, and so it's just us. It's Bryant, Adam, and I. We're trying to accomplish catching bull trout. Being out here, being able to kind of step back and look at things without any distractions, without any social media. You kind of get to see things a little more clearly. So definitely appreciating the time we've got out here, and really excited to get on tomorrow.
We woke up that next morning, the last morning, ready to crush them.
We forgot to pick out a takeout point last night before it got dark. So we found a little campsite here that looks like there might be a trail to the river.
This is a makeshift little slide for our boat. It's hard up here where no one really floats because there's nothing for boats up here. We're just looking, and hopefully we can find something. This is our best bet right now.
All right, you good?
It was definitely cold, and we're like, okay, this is it. Like we found the float, and we're like, okay, they're here. On the top of this float was some really, really good looking slow holes that bull trout should be in. I fished like the first 4 or 5 holes, then Scotty got up in the front, and there's this like tension in there. We're like, okay, we gotta find them. You know, they have to be in here.
We caught one fish.
We had this peak when we saw them the day before. We're like, yes, let's get after it. And then after every single hole, that morale just started getting lower and lower and lower. We were wiped out.
We were defeated again by the bull trout.
That is what we just had to pull the boat through.
We're so pooped at this point. Like we drive up kind of close to where that hole where we saw the bulls, and we were just laying in the road.
We couldn't believe we hadn't run into a single decent-sized bull trout. All the clues from this week had led us to this zone, and it seemed too perfect for the fish not to be here. So before heading home, we decided to try one more spot further upstream. We let Bryant take the first shot since he was the only one who had never caught a bull trout.
So we hiked down. We found this little trail that led us right to this hole. You know, I was really nervous because I was like, we've put in all this work.
Oh God.
And like
The pressure's on.
Yeah, the pressure was on, and I was losing it.
Get like up in this area right here, and cast across, and then swing it through that area.
First bully ever. I'm shaking right now. I almost lost it there. I was just not confident in how this hole laid out. I don't know why he ate that time, but I'm so glad he did. Let's go. This trip has been awesome. So much work has been put into it, just from the logistics to packing up every morning and finding a new spot to fish, somewhere else to float, dragging the raft this morning. And it's been kind of a frustrating trip. This morning was just such a letdown, and it's just so nice to capitalize on this spot where we saw them yesterday. It really has made all the work worth it.
The trip was a success. We came for bull trout and we found bull trout. But beyond that, getting to experience this pristine area of the country firsthand has given me a deeper appreciation for bull trout as a whole. It has furthered my understanding of why these areas are so important to preserve and inspired me to share this story. If you are planning to fish for bull trout, please make sure you look into your state and local regulations. They are a fragile species, but I believe that it's fishermen like you and I who can educate each other and truly make a difference.
What a way to wrap up the last day in Idaho. Bryant did catch the fish, but it really did feel like a team effort. This whole week we've been grinding, from pulling the boat to checking out different spots to just grinding out the camping life. We're heading out of town. These boys came back and picked me up after I got the closing shot.
Get in, loser. We're going home.
We're going home? I don't want to go home. We're going home. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. We just got back from our trip, and thank you all so much for following along and watching the video. We actually just hit 60,000 subscribers, and we were trying to get to 100 by the end of the year.
Smash that like button. I don't know.
Whatever the kids say.
I've heard them say that.
If you're not subscribed already, like, what are you doing? Why are you
doing?
Why are you watching this? You made it this far. You might as well subscribe. But we also have our Short Bus Diaries trip in Colorado coming up at the start of October.
We have a really fun brewery night planned. We're gonna have a meetup where the bus is going to be open to tour. You can stick your head in the bus, see what it's like, see the
Take
build,
take a whiff.
take a whiff of it, see the new upgrades that we've done for this season. We're extremely excited about it, and all 4 of the guys are going to be there, just as they say, bullin'. So come bull with the boys in Colorado. You can meet all of us. We're going to have free beers. We're going to have a bunch of giveaways. I'm giving away some blue line flies.
We'll give away some merch.
We're going to have some wild fly stuff. We're going to have some stuff from our sponsors to give away. All sorts of cool stuff that we're going to have to give away.
This is our first meetup we've ever done. So really excited. I am behind the computer and post these videos, and we don't ever get to interact with any of you guys unless we bump into you on the river or something.
Yeah.
So we're really excited to meet some of y'all in Colorado.
Come get a beer, meet us, see the bus in person, see what you're not missing out on, and
Boom.
I don't know.
That's going to do it. You guys have watched long enough, and we'll see y'all in Colorado.